back to my channel and Happy New Year to everybody. I know that I haven't been filming. I don't think I've filmed a video in like a week, and that is because I have been doing a makeover on my beauty room. So I'm in the process now. Well, my fiance helped me do a lot of stuff in my beauty room, so all the stuff that requires a man is done. So I'm pretty much just trying to put all my makeup back up and finish up, you know, the minor decorations that I want to do, and then I'll have a beauty room tour and a makeup collection video coming. So with that being said, as you can see, I don't have on any makeup. I'm starting out this video with my eye makeup done and my brows, and that's it. And that's because we're going to be doing a foundation review today. And the foundation that we're going to be reviewing is the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Coverage Foundation. I'm pretty sure you've seen reviews all over YouTube for this foundation already. So, yeah. If you guys are interested in seeing my thoughts and a demo on the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Coverage Foundation, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so the foundation that we're going to be reviewing today is the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Coverage Foundation. And I got these foundations, I ordered these from Ulta, and I ordered them online like before Christmas, and I did get them before Christmas. So I've been wearing this and another foundation that I'm going to do a review on. I'll probably post that sometime this week. But yeah, I'm going to do a review on this one today, and I've just been wearing it. And yeah, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the foundation. But I'm going to show you a demo of me applying the foundation, even though I feel like the foundation applies better with the L'Oreal sponge, and it is so soft. I think that this is definitely a Beauty Blender dupe because it is so soft. But for the sake of this video, of course, I'm going to apply one side with a brush just so you can see how it applies with the brush and if you want to apply it with the brush. So I'm just going to get on to the demo of the foundation. Now the two shades that I picked up is 312 and 311, and this is Cocoa and Cream Cafe, and these are the two darkest shades. And I always pick up two shades in L'Oreal foundations because the darkest shade is always way too red. So I just mix these two together and it gives me a really nice shade for my skin tone. So I'm just going to mix these two, and then we're going to get on with the application process. Now, because I kind of want to go ahead and do this video because I had a breakout right here. So I just want to see if it's going to actually cover it. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and do this video. Like, I'm not going to do any color correcting or anything like that. The only thing I'm going to do is prime because, you know, I wouldn't wear a foundation without priming. So, yeah. I'm going to start by applying the foundation to the right side of my face with, I'm going to apply it to the side with the blemish with the L'Oreal sponge, just because this is how they suggest you use it with a sponge. So I just want you to see if it's going to actually cover up the way they suggested to use it. And then I'll just use the left side with my Sedona Lace number 928 flat top kabuki brush. So I'm just going to get on to the application process, and I'm going to start with the right side of my face. So I'm just going to mix these two together and start applying. Alright guys, so this foundation comes in 12 different shades and it retails for $12.99. This foundation claims to be full coverage, lasts up to 24 hours, and give you a natural finish. This is the third foundation to join the L'Oreal Infallible line. There is the Pro Matte that's geared more towards oily skin. There's the Pro Glow that's geared more towards drier skin. And then the Total Coverage, which I feel like both can get away with. This is a really nice foundation. Just have to make sure that you prep your skin either way. Alright guys, so here's the foundation applied to the right side of my face with the L'Oreal Infallible sponge that they just released. And this is how it looks, and this is the blemish. As you can see, it did a nice job covering up the blemish, but you can still see my hyperpigmentation right around my mouth right here. So I'm just going to put a second coat on this side just to show you guys how it builds with the sponge. And then we'll move on to the left side with the brush. Alright guys, so it says get up to 24 hours of full coverage with a lightweight feel and a natural finish. Infallible Total Coverage Foundation blends instantly to cover dark spots, blemishes, scars, and hyperpigmentation for a flawless complexion. Alright guys, so here's the foundation applied to the right side of my face with 2 coats, and it did do a little better job of covering up my hyperpigmentation, and it did cover up the spots, the dark spots from my scar. And like I said, I didn't do any color correcting, and I don't put foundation under my eyes anyway because I'm going to put concealer there. So this is just how the foundation looks on the right side of my face. And this is the left side of my face with no foundation. So now I'm going to apply foundation to the left side of my face using my Dania Lanese flat top kabuki brush. Alright guys, it also says this full coverage foundation is formulated with high pigmentation for total coverage. This foundation will glide on and feel fresh all day. It will create the perfect canvas for a flawless makeup application. I definitely love the way the foundation applies, although I would suggest applying it in sections because this foundation dries really quickly, so if you're not careful then you will end up with a lot of dry dots on your face and it will be super hard to blend out. Alright guys, so here's foundation on the left side of my face using my Dania Lanese flat top kabuki brush. Now I do like how it applies foundation with the brush also, but I feel like it looks a little more natural when you apply it with the L'Oreal sponge. So as you can see on this side of my face and this side of my face, they pretty much, the coverage pretty much looks even. Like my hyperpigmentation is covered, you know, evenly on the bottom. So the brush definitely does cover a lot more than the sponge does, even though the sponge gives you a more natural finish. That's why I like using the sponge. So even though I don't want to build on it because I don't want it to get cakey, because I feel like, you know, this foundation can get really cakey if you try to build it with a brush, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a second coat to the left side of my face with the brush just to show you how it looks with 2 coats. Alright guys, L'Oreal claims for the best results to buff this foundation into the skin using the L'Oreal Infallible Blending Artist Sponge. Now I do feel like the foundation applies better with the sponge than it does with the brush. I think the application is beautiful on both sides. It just looks a lot more natural to me when you apply it with the sponge. And it doesn't have to be the L'Oreal sponge. You can use any sponge that you have, but I definitely think that the sponge gives it a more natural look. Alright guys, so here is the side of my face with 2 coats of foundation applied with the brush. And here is 2 coats with the beauty sponge. I definitely feel like the beauty sponge gives it a more natural look. So I'm just going to finish off the rest of my makeup and then I'm going to come back and give you my thoughts on this foundation. Alright guys, so I'm back to give you my thoughts on the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Coverage Foundation, and I really like the foundation. I mean, I have dry skin and I've seen a lot of people say if you have dry skin you may want to steer clear of this foundation. But I mean, I have dry skin and I exfoliate on a regular basis during the winter time simply because I know I have dry skin and I don't want any dry patches to peek through. Even though if you don't exfoliate before you use this, just make sure that you prep your skin for it, because I definitely feel like the foundation gives off more of a matte finish than a natural finish. Now the claims of it being lightweight is, I mean, all those claims are true. Like, it really does feel lightweight on the skin, but to me it doesn't look natural on the skin, even though I feel like it looks more natural when you apply it with the sponge versus the brush. So the brush does give you more coverage, but the sponge gives you kind of like a airbrushed finish. So I really like that finish. So that is why I like using the sponge. Now the sponge is definitely, it's really soft, and I feel like it's definitely a dupe for the Beauty Blender. However, as you can see, it has a rip right here. And I think I've only had this sponge, I don't know, maybe a week. So I just kind of feel like it shouldn't be that easy to tear if you have it, because I think I paid like $7.99 for this sponge. So this is like more than the Real Techniques Beauty Complexion sponge, but it ripped on me. And of course it's dirty because I used it to apply my foundation today. Now the foundation claims to be 24 hours. I don't know if it is 24 hours, but I got this foundation. I did get it before Christmas, but like I said, my beauty room is like under construction right now. So I've been busy trying to get my beauty room back up, so I haven't been doing any tutorials. So the only thing I really have left to do in here is maybe just decorate. We'll finish up the decorating and then I'll have a room tour, but that is why I am using the backdrop. But anyways, that is why I haven't been able to film any videos, because there just hasn't been, you know, anywhere for me to film in my beauty room. So I've been wearing the foundation ever since I got it. Like I said, I got it before Christmas. This one and another foundation that I'm going to do a review on this week as well. But I really like the foundation. It does wear for a really, really long time. And this foundation, with me having dry skin, I can get away without setting this foundation with a powder. But I always still set it because I always use concealers and, you know, all this other stuff on top of the foundation. But if you have dry skin, you can definitely get away without setting this foundation. Now, I have a friend that uses foundation also, and she has oily skin, and her oils starts to peek through on this foundation. So even if you have oily skin, then you may just want to take precaution and prep your skin, maybe with a mattifying primer, even though this primer, or just, you know, mattifying primer in like your T-zone area or wherever you get really oily. Because, I mean, throughout the day, this foundation, your oils will peek through. Now this is one of those foundations where I feel like it wears better as the day goes along. Even though I love the foundation when I apply it, I feel like all of my makeup applies flawlessly on top of it, so that's really not a problem. The only con that I have with this foundation is the color range. I just wish that 312 Cocoa, the darkest shade, wasn't so red, because I mean, this foundation gets, L'Oreal foundations get pretty pricey for me because I always have to purchase more than one to mix them together to get my perfect shade, or so that, you know, my foundation won't be so yellow. And I know that I can fix it with a concealer, but I would just, you know, rather put my foundation on, you know, kind of even. And these foundations, I don't know if I told you, they were like $12.99. I ordered them from Ulta. They were $12.99 a piece, so that's a lot to pay for a drugstore foundation. Like, $12.99 is not a lot to pay, but when you have to buy two of them to mix together to get your perfect shade, then it becomes a bit much. So, I mean, honestly, I like the foundation. Don't be fooled by the cover on the foundation. This is just a sticker. This is not, you know, the actual color of the foundation. If you can see, you have like a little gap right there, and that actually shows you the color of the foundation, even though you still can't see that. You can't even see it if you pop it off because this is black. So I don't know, I guess you just pretty much have to go by this little bit of space that's right here, unless you want to just pop it open, but it's got a seal on it. You're not supposed to. Alright, now this concealer, it's very, very, very thick. So I would suggest, as you can see me doing in the video, I would definitely suggest working in sections on your face, because if you don't, it'll dry up really quickly and you'll just have like these little dots all over your face that you're trying to work so hard to blend out. So what I do is I just apply it, and then I'll blend it out on this half of my face. Then I'll apply it to another half and then blend that half out, and, you know, just I apply it in sections because this foundation dries really fast and it is so thick. It's kind of like a moussey texture. It reminds me a lot of the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse, except for that's in like a little tube and this is in the squeezy tube. But yeah, this is kind of has like a moussey texture to it. So I honestly don't mind that it's so thick. I mean, it's a really nice foundation. I don't know if I would wear this foundation in the summertime. Well, I probably wouldn't because it's so thick, but they came out with it at a really nice time in the winter time. So I kind of feel like, you know, I'll turn to these foundations a lot more because it's wintertime, and I like to go for a more fuller coverage in the wintertime because then I don't mind caking it on because I'm not going to sweat as much because I do live down south. But I feel like these are really nice foundations. I mean, if anything, just go try it out. The only thing I would say is just be careful with the color range, you know, when you're picking your color range, because yeah, they can be kind of tricky, and L'Oreal's darkest shade is just like way too red. So they did come out with some other stuff on the line, but I really wasn't interested in any of that. So I just picked up the foundations, and yeah, I think that is everything that I have to say about these foundations. My overall thoughts on them, I really like them. I feel like either way it goes, if you have oily skin, you're going to have to prep for this foundation. If you have dry skin, you're going to have to prep for this foundation because your dry patches will show through on this foundation. So you just have to make sure you prep your skin. And like if you're oily, just make sure you prep your skin, because once the day goes on, you know, my friend, her oil started to break through. So maybe around the 5 or 6 hour mark, I'm going to say. So, I mean, you kind of just have to prep your skin either way it goes to use this foundation. So yeah, I really like them, and I see myself using these a lot during the winter time. Like I said, during the summertime, probably not. I don't wear thicker foundations in the summertime simply because they're just too thick. The foundation does give, well, I mean, I kind of feel like you have to build on it in order to get a full coverage. Like the first layer that you apply is definitely not going to be a full coverage. It'll be a full coverage if you apply it with a brush, but I mean, it doesn't look as pretty and smooth and airbrushed as when you apply it with a sponge. So, you know, you may want to build on it with the sponge, even though, I mean, you can build on it lightly. Just don't cake a lot on, because then it's going to start looking cakey. You can build on it lightly with a sponge, and, you know, it will give you the coverage that you need, and it has a beautiful finish to it. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Coverage Foundation. If you picked this foundation up, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about it, and if you would repurchase this foundation. I would definitely repurchase this foundation. I think that I'm going to be wearing this foundation a lot in the winter time. Let me know what you guys think about my background, because I mean, it is going to change once I get my beauty room all set up and back together. Then I'll probably just, you know, film like I did before, just with my original room in the background. And sometimes I may switch it up to the backdrops. I'm really not sure, but I mean, I'm kind of liking how it looks, but I don't know. I feel like a backdrop kind of gets a little boring sometimes. Maybe that's just me, but I will continue to use it until I get my beauty room together, and I will, you know, maybe just switch up from my background to different parts of my room just to switch it up so you guys won't be bored. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from me. Until the next video.